The weekend. Another day at the MGTOW homestead. I'm using the wealth that I might very well have lost in a horrendous divorce to improve the property and, of course, get the property in the first place. I'll show you what I'm up to out there. You know, I gotta say that that women complain about rape all the time. Well, feminists do anyway. And they totally dismiss what happens to guys when they are roped into supporting a kid that might not even be theirs. And basically, rape is when you use somebody's body for your own purposes against their will. Well, for like several hours a day or a couple hours a day each week, man, the same thing happens to a guy. I mean, what's the difference? I mean, it might not be quite as catastrophic, but man, it might not be as catastrophic, but geez, it lasts a hell of a lot longer. So, man, I just don't have a lot of sympathy for people who are defending that system. So here I am on the MGTOW homestead. Oftentimes what I do might not be very smart here, but I always put some nuts out for the squirrel. Not because they serve any useful purpose, but because they're cute. And here we got my hugelkultur bed. It's still being in construction. Shut up! That's the neighbor dog. He's obnoxious. I tried to be friendly with him for a couple months, but it's pointless. There's no friendliness in them. Anyway, you bury wood underneath the soil, and I'm still stacking wood up. Took out a lot of shrubs over here, and that were just really overgrown. Took out that ginormous tree that was right here that was just shading the whole property. And now I'm basically cutting up as much wood around here as is convenient, and the big stuff I'm cutting and stacking for firewood over there. But anyway, today I'm going to chip up all of this woody material with my wood chipper, which I got for free. And then, and that stuff too. Then once I clean that up, I'm going to store the wood chips for the time being, and take some more of that rotten firewood from behind the sheds over there, which the previous owner left for me. Most people would just haul it off to the dump, but I'm going to use that to build up the back half of the hugelkultur bed, maybe a little bit in the front, before I start heaping compost up on top of it. I'm not sure. I've got a bag of organic fertilizer. I might throw that in there too, because woody material really sucks the nitrogen out of the soil, and it makes your plants kind of go, help me, I'm dying, I'm starving. So basically, I think I might just do that. I've got some compost out front. I'm going to shovel that on top of it, and then I'm going to steal some soil from behind my sheds over there, which has been building up for eons, you know, dropped from all the trees over in the neighbor's yard, and it's just been building up, and now I'm gonna harvest it. And I'm gonna dump it on this bed first, and then the extra I think I'll dump on that bed back there. And other than the hugelkultur beds, I'm also going to use a method of gardening called the Back to Eden method. And it's really easy to use. I'm going to run all this blackberry junk through these old dead canes. I'm going to run those through the wood chipper as well. And then I'm going to do some very light tilling, like right here and right there. And I'm going to throw some wood chips on top of that, and that'll suppress the weeds, and then it'll allow the plants to get the nitrogen as the wood chips break down into soil right next to the soil surface. Like the interface between the soil surface and the wood chips is where the teeth of the soil start breaking like the worms and the insect larvae and bacteria start breaking down the wood chips, and then that releases nitrogen, and the wood chips acts as a mulch which suppresses weeds, and then you have a very easy method of gardening. And it's also, since it's thick wood chips, that suppresses a lot of the evaporation, so you don't need nearly as much water. Not quite as good as hugelkultur, if I understand correctly, but it's in the neighborhood. And then I'm also going to leave all these blackberries here as a visual barrier to make the yard a little bit more cozy. And I'm looking forward to seeing if these cherry trees produce. I moved in too late last year to really see it, so we'll see what they can do this year. I almost missed the apple harvest about a month. I mean, most of them were on the ground when I bought this place. Kind of interesting here. I've got some wild chives growing as well. They are tasty just like any other chives. So good times. Yeah, I'll chop up that last little bit of firewood. We had this tree growing through our fence and ripping the fence out and knocking it over. So, and the neighbors allowed us to go onto their property to cut the wood. They said we could have the wood, so I'll split that today. Not very much here. I might chip up this material as well. This overgrown mess here, I think I might turn into a garden bed later. This one over here, it used to have some kind of shrub in here, or a tree at one time, but it's got nothing but a stump. So I think I will just convert this to a hugelkultur bed. Well, this is a channel update from the MGTOW homestead. Later.